Yes guys, it's your boy Cam, CTB, Cam Talks Boxing, back with another video. Has Joe Joyce finally been exposed? Let's discuss, let's talk about it. Yes guys, let's go straight into it. So Joe Joyce was absolutely destroyed. It's been 2 days now since his crushing defeat against Zhilei Zhang at the Copper Box in London. Look, Joe Joyce was on a momentum, he was on a run, he was regarded as the third, fourth, fifth, he was top 5 best heavyweights in the world. He had 14 knockouts inside, 15-0, so 15 wins, 14 knockouts. One of the most destructive fighters, boxers in the world. One of the most dominant heavyweights in the last 12 to 18 months. And he was just knocking over everyone, kept defying the odds. He beat Daniel Dubois when there was a lot of hype around him. He beat Joseph Parker, who's a world level heavyweight, former world champion, and he's never been knocked out. He knocked out Joseph Parker. He's got probably one of the best resumes out of the heavyweights. He takes risk after risk. He's fought so many fighters in the top 15. And I saw someone actually point out that he's fought more fighters in the top 15 than Tyson Fury has. So it shows he's a risk taker. And look, the question that you saw in the thumbnail, the question is, has he finally been exposed? Well, I'm gonna lead up to that. There's one point is you can't just write him off after this. Look, yes, he did get dominated. I was there at the fight. Zhang was the better man. He was better in every aspect: footwork, hand speed, defense, power, composure, and it was quite surprising. We saw Joe Joyce hurt for the first time. He was buckled, and for me, I don't think he's been exposed. I feel like he's slightly been exposed for you can't afford to keep getting hit like that, regardless of your granite chin. Yes, he's got a granite chin. Yes, he didn't get knocked out. He got stopped. If it wasn't for an eye injury. But at the end of the day, it's damage. He got stopped. It was a brutal loss. But look, he's not. You can't write him off. You can't. He hasn't. I wouldn't say he's still a world class heavyweight in my opinion. Can he win a rematch? Of course he can. I listened to Peter Fury yesterday, and he speaks sense. And he hit the nail on the head. I really agree with him. He just had the wrong tactics. He fought Zhilei Zhang's fight. He was going in straight lines. He wasn't using his jab at all, and he was just there for the left hand of Zhang, and he was getting hit repeatedly. He lost a lot of weight. I don't know why he lost. I think it was 2 stone. If he's fighting a big fighter, like a big heavy 6'7" power puncher like Zhang, who's just as big as him, why would you lose weight? So that didn't help his probably punch resistance and his strength. So he needs to put on that weight. He needs to put that weight back on. And yeah, he just didn't have the right tactics. What was he trying to? Was he lighter because he wanted to move? He's not really a mover anyway. So I think he can win the rematch for sure. And you can't just write him off all of a sudden. He takes risks. He didn't have to take this fight. He was mandatory for the world title. And I still believe he can be a world champion. You know, like it's not like he got absolutely knocked out or he got chinned. It's a tough one, isn't it? I don't think he's been exposed at all. I don't think he's been a hype job. I think he is the real deal. I think he gives any heavyweight trouble. And look, it's heavyweight boxing. Zhang was just a better man on the night. It's just you look through the history books. There's not many undefeated heavyweights. Look, anyone can get chinned, and these things can happen. Look, who knows if his eye didn't close, he probably would have won in the second half of the fight, because that's how the fight. Look, Daniel Dubois, you could argue, was up on the scorecards. He was boxing really well. And I was thinking Daniel was going to win. And then I slowly started to see, wait a minute, Joe Joyce is composed. He's just jabbing, consistently jabbing, and he broke Dubois down. And if his eye didn't shut, if his eye wasn't to have closed, and we did go into the second half of the fight, and he did stop Zhang, that's how we all would have seen it in the first place, and we would have said, "Oh, typical Joyce, amazing performance." Because look, I remember he fought Christian Hammer in July, and I reacted on my channel when I just started it, and I was furious. I was shocked. I was like, he cannot tangle with the best heavyweights because how often he gets hit, and that's kind of come into fruition. That's kind of come alive, that prediction, because look, he's come against a top 10, top 15 heavyweight. Obviously now he's right up there, isn't he? Top 5, top 6, top 7, and it's happened now. Look, you can't afford to get hit that often. So it's perhaps maybe obviously it's a southpaw, it's tricky. But look, for me, I think he can win the rematch. But I do feel like he's been exposed in the sense that look, if that's Deontay Wilder, what would he do to Joyce? He would knock him straight out. I think we've got our answer there. Unless it was literally due to the weight. Maybe he puts on the weight for the rematch. He goes back to his natural weight, a bit more bulkier, a bit more stronger, and he never goes down to that slim physique. And maybe we'll never see that type of Joyce again, where he's getting rocked slightly. He's just even his punches. He wasn't jabbing. He didn't have any pop in his punches, so I'm not sure. I think the power went as well. But for me, overall, I don't think he's been exposed. I think certain aspects of his game have been exposed. But I've seen Eddie Hearn saying he's never fought. Joe Joyce hasn't fought an elite heavyweight. Well, compare that to Joshua. Joshua's fought Klitschko, but Klitschko was 41, passed it. And I'm not hating on Joshua. I'm a Joshua fan as well, but it's true. If Eddie Hearn wants to say things like that, Joshua's fought a 41-year-old Vladimir Klitschko, passed it, so he's not really elite, is he? And then Usyk he's fought, and he's lost twice. So who else has Joshua fought? Yeah, a lot of heavyweights within the top 10, top 15, and that's really good. That's why we criticise Tyson Fury, because he doesn't have those names on his resume. Like Joshua, Joe Joyce has fought a lot of top heavyweights as well. So it's not, and so they're both. Eddie Hearn, his point's not. I don't agree with his point there about Joe Joyce not fighting any elite heavyweights. Joshua and Joyce both have great resumes. Joe Joyce took a risk; it didn't pay off. I hope he takes the rematch. If he doesn't, he can have another fight, fight someone else within the top 15. And then, get a Zhang rematch, and then look, big 2024 for him. He can get a world title shot. So I wouldn't panic too much about Joe Joyce. He took a risk, it can happen. It was a dangerous fight, but I don't think he's been exposed. I do think he's one of the best heavyweights out there. I still think he beats a lot of the top heavyweights. And he's a problem for anyone. But guys, let me know what you think. Do you think he's been exposed? Do you think it was all hype? And do you think he can even compete with the likes of Fury, Usyk, Wilder, Joshua? Guys, I'll be back with another video.
Talking numbers on the phone while I'm getting brains. Switch 4 lanes, I'm in my own lane. You can catch me